The legendary Prince of Darkness and founding father of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne, has left an indelible mark at the age of 76. In the world of rock, few names carry a legacy as enduring as Ozzy's. He wasn't just an icon, he was a force of nature, beloved by generations across the globe. In his final chapter, life grew quieter than anyone might have imagined for such a larger-than-life figure. During those peaceful days, the man once defined by chaos and energy stepped away from the spotlight and finally found peace beyond the pursuit of fame. In the end, Ozzy's thoughts were no longer on the stage or the spotlight. His heart was focused on one deeply personal wish, something only his wife, Sharon, could help make real. It wasn't a fleeting thought, but a genuine desire that shaped his final days and brought him a rare sense of peace. If Ozzy Osbourne's life or music has ever made you laugh, think, or feel inspired, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss more powerful stories like this one. Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever felt connected to Ozzy's legacy, or a 0 if you see it differently. Now, let's uncover the heartfelt story behind that final wish and how it brought him comfort when the world finally fell quiet. Just a few weeks later, the world said its final goodbye to Ozzy Osbourne, a man who left behind not only a groundbreaking musical legacy, but a life defined by chaos, resilience, and triumph. His farewell touched millions across the globe. As the last chapter of his story unfolded, Ozzy seemed to understand just how precious his remaining time had become. Years of living with Parkinson's had taken their toll, and he knew the curtain was slowly closing. Through it all, one person remained steadfast, his wife, Sharon Osbourne. She wasn't just his life partner, but his closest friend and greatest source of strength. More than anyone, Sharon understood the road he was walking, and she never turned away. In those quiet, fragile days, she stayed by his side, making sure Ozzy's final moments were filled with love, peace, and dignity. Ozzy Osbourne's final chapter wasn't just a farewell, it was a living testament to Sharon's unwavering devotion and the life they built together. She endured the heartbreak of watching her husband's strength fade day by day, yet she never wavered in her promise to honor his wishes. With quiet courage and boundless love, Sharon stood beside him through every struggle, helping him find peace in their shared journey. Though Ozzy could no longer do what had once defined him, his final days were filled with meaning spent near the people he loved most, wrapped in the warmth of Sharon's care. His farewell wasn't merely the end of an extraordinary life, it was a timeless tribute to love, loyalty, and the enduring spirit of one of music's most unforgettable legends. Parkinson's is a relentlessly progressive illness, and for Ozzy, it took a heavy toll, especially on his legs, as Sharon once shared in an interview. His health battles were no secret, and while few expected a full recovery, it was still heartbreaking to see a man once so commanding on stage grow physically fragile. Yet through it all, what truly stood out was Ozzy's remarkable spirit. Even as his body changed, his sharp wit and unmistakable humor never faded. Those closest to him often spoke of his warmth, how he could light up a room with a joke, a clever remark, or that signature grin. Despite every challenge, Ozzy never lost what made him so deeply loved. His rare gift for connection, his laughter, and the way he made everyone around him feel at home. Though his body had grown fragile, Ozzy's voice, the very soul of his legendary career, remained astonishingly strong. Fans around the world were amazed that his vocals still carried the same raw power and defiance, echoing the spirit that had defined his music for decades. His physical strength may have waned, but his voice continued to move people rich, emotional, and unmistakably Ozzy. It became more than just sound. It was the embodiment of everything he had ever given to the world. And through that voice, Ozzy Osbourne secured his place in history, an eternal icon whose legacy will continue to resonate in the hearts of music lovers for generations to come. Sharon later spoke softly about those final conversations, revealing that Ozzy had opened up about a few deeply personal wishes, things he felt he needed to complete in order to find true peace within himself. These weren't fleeting thoughts, but the sincere reflections of a man seeking closure and meaning at the end of an extraordinary life. Whatever it was, Sharon said, I made it my mission to make it happen. For her, it went beyond the duties of a wife. It became a sacred promise, a vow of love and faith to honor his wishes and bring him comfort in his final days. During that time, Sharon was more than a partner. She was his anchor, his strength, and the steadfast guardian of the legacy Ozzy had spent a lifetime building. It wasn't just a simple request, it was a deeply personal final wish, a profound responsibility that Sharon carried with unwavering grace as his wife, partner, and manager. This wasn't something small or symbolic. It was a promise she fulfilled with every ounce of her love and devotion. For fans around the world, the news on July 22nd struck like an earthquake, signaling the end of a legendary era in music history. But for those who truly knew him, that moment carried a quiet sense of peace. Ozzy didn't simply fade from the spotlight, he stepped away on his own terms, leaving behind a legacy forged from passion, purpose, and a lifetime of dreams fully realized. In those final days, Sharon remained by his side, steadfast and unshakable, ensuring that everything unfolded exactly as Ozzy had wished. With quiet strength and boundless love, she was more than his wife. She was his anchor, the one person who stayed beside him to see his final wish fulfilled. Those days were filled with tenderness and grace, a sacred space where his hopes were honored, and his heart finally found peace. When the moment came, it wasn't just an ending, it was a complete and deeply meaningful farewell, exactly as Ozzy had imagined. Ozzy Osbourne's final wish was profoundly moving, bittersweet, and deeply human, yet fulfilled in true Ozzy fashion, with unshakable resolve and a profound respect for the legacy he built over a lifetime. And standing beside him, as she had for more than 40 years, was Sharon Osbourne, the woman who turned that final wish into reality. Their bond was far more than a marriage. It was an unbreakable partnership that weathered public storms, private battles, and the immense weight of global fame. Sharon wasn't just his wife, she was his confidant, his manager, and his constant source of strength through every triumph and every trial, especially during the defining moments of his final years. Through every high and low in both their careers and their personal lives, Sharon remained a pillar of unwavering love and loyalty. Together, they endured countless storms, from battles with addiction to the unpredictable chaos of Ozzy's larger-than-life career. Yet within those very struggles, their love only grew deeper, becoming a powerful testament to a partnership built on resilience, compassion, and mutual respect. The Osbourne family's bond endures as a timeless reminder of how to face life's hardest moments with unity, grace, and a love that only strengthens through adversity. Sharon wasn't just Ozzy's wife, she was his manager, his soulmate, and in many ways, the steady force that kept him grounded through life's fiercest storm. Their bond went far beyond love. It was rooted in loyalty, understanding, and unwavering support. Their story began in the late 1972, when Sharon's father, Don Arden, managed Black Sabbath. From the start, Sharon, strong, sharp, and full of charisma, formed an instant connection with Ozzy. What began as a spark quickly grew into something much deeper, built on empathy, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. Sharon wasn't only a loving partner, she was the guiding light who stood by Ozzy through the chaos of fame, helping him face his darkest battles and rise again. In 1982, Sharon and Ozzy exchanged vows, marking a defining chapter in their extraordinary journey together. Through every trial and triumph, their love didn't just survive, it grew stronger with time. Their bond became one of rock's most enduring symbols of devotion, forged through unwavering commitment and countless sacrifices. Together, they faced everything from career turbulence to deeply personal struggles. That profound connection became their anchor, allowing them to withstand the weight of fame and the unpredictable chaos of rock and roll. Sharon and Ozzy's story is more than a celebrated marriage. It's a timeless testament to resilience, loyalty, and the power of walking through life hand in hand, no matter what storms may come. Throughout Ozzy's long and well-documented battles with addiction, Sharon remained the unwavering force by his side. She wasn't just his wife, she was his anchor, the steady presence that kept his life and career from collapsing. During the hardest years, when Ozzy faced his deepest struggles, Sharon stood firm, never losing faith in him. Even in the darkest moments, she met chaos with patience, strength, and quiet determination, always urging him to keep moving forward. Sharon was more than a partner. She was the grounding force that protected Ozzy's legacy and helped him rise above challenges that had consumed so many in the world of rock. Her loyalty and resilience became the very foundation of his survival, both as an artist and as a man. In the years that followed, Sharon became more than a devoted wife. She emerged as a public figure in her own right. From managing Ozzy's solo career to co-starring in the hit MTV reality series The Osbournes, she became deeply intertwined with both his professional world and their family life. The show offered fans a rare, unfiltered glimpse into their daily lives, where Sharon's resilience and warmth shone through, revealing a family built not just on humor, but on love and connection. She wasn't merely managing the career of a rock legend. She was fiercely protecting their private world, ensuring that even under the blinding lights of fame, their bond remained intact. Sharon balanced it all, fame and family, chaos and care, with remarkable grace and quiet strength. The Osbournes introduced Ozzy and his family to an entirely new generation of fans, people who may not have grown up with his music but were instantly drawn to his humor and the wonderfully chaotic energy that filled every episode. The show offered more than just entertainment. It revealed a side of Ozzy the world had rarely seen, a man who was genuine, relatable, and profoundly human. The bond between Ozzy, Sharon, and their children became the heart of the series, showing how they faced life's highs and lows with laughter, love, and understanding. While Ozzy's music didn't reach everyone, the Osbournes allowed him to connect with millions on a deeply personal level. People who saw reflections of their own families in the beautiful, imperfect, and heartfelt moments of his. As Ozzy's health began to decline, his bond with Sharon grew even stronger. In 2003, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a challenge he kept private for many years before publicly revealing it in 2020. The diagnosis brought immense trials, not just for Ozzy, but for his entire family. Over time, he faced the difficult realities of the illness, the physical strain, the gradual loss of strength, and the emotional weight of adapting to a new way of life. For someone who had spent decades commanding the stage with boundless energy, it was an especially painful adjustment. Yet through every setback, Sharon and their family stood steadfastly by his side, surrounding him with love, courage, and the reassurance that allowed him to keep moving forward with dignity and heart. Sharon, who has spoken candidly about the emotional weight of watching Parkinson's take its toll on Ozzy, carried much of the burden through those difficult years, both emotionally and logistically. She wasn't just his wife, she was his foundation, a steady source of love, strength, and comfort, always there when he needed her most. Sharon was also the first to acknowledge that their touring days, the electric shows, the unforgettable nights on stage had finally come to an end. After a lifetime spent facing every challenge side by side, she knew it was time for change. "I've been doing this since I was 15, and now I'm done. We just want to live our lives, do what we want to do, and not be on a schedule anymore," she told Billboard in an interview shortly before stepping away from the spotlight. It was a moment of profound acceptance, a realization that their next chapter would no longer be about fame, but about peace, presence, and the quiet joy of simply living life together. In several interviews, Sharon softly hinted that Ozzy had shared something deeply personal with her, a final wish close to his heart. Though she never revealed the details, It was clear that she was wholeheartedly devoted to honoring it, ensuring his desires were fulfilled with love and care. Ozzy's final weeks became about more than just saying goodbye. They were a time to cherish quiet, meaningful moments with family and to reflect on the extraordinary legacy he had built. Sharon devoted herself to keeping their loved ones close, surrounding him with peace and comfort, so that when the moment came, Ozzy could rest knowing that his love, his memories, and his music would live on for generations to come. The legacy of the Prince of Darkness, born John Michael Osbourne on the 3rd of December 1948 in Aston, Birmingham, is one of transformation and triumph. Raised in a humble, working-class family, Ozzy faced immense hardships early in life, yet rose above them to become a global icon who forever changed the sound and soul of rock music. His journey was never just about fame or success. It was a living testament to resilience, creativity, and the power of art to transform a life. In 1968, alongside the members of Black Sabbath, Ozzy helped pioneer a daring new sound, heavy metal defined by thunderous riffs, haunting intensity, and raw emotion. It was the beginning of a musical revolution, one that would shape generations and solidify Ozzy's place as a true architect of modern rock. Black Sabbath's self-titled debut album, released in 1970, introduced the world to unforgettable tracks like Paranoid, Iron Man, and War Pigs. These songs didn't just redefine rock, they reshaped its very foundation, securing Black Sabbath's place at the summit of music history. With thunderous riffs and lyrics that captured the tension, rebellion, and uncertainty of their era, the band's sound became the anthem of a restless generation. Songs like Paranoid evolved into timeless classics, transcending the boundaries of heavy metal and inspiring millions across decades. At the heart of it all was Ozzy Osbourne. His unmistakable voice and electrifying stage presence made him the soul of a musical revolution and a legend forever etched in the hearts of fans around the world. With an extraordinary solo career and iconic hits like Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne secured his place among the greatest rock vocalists in history. Crazy Train, with its unforgettable guitar riffs and Ozzy's commanding vocals, became more than just a rock anthem. It stood as a symbol of his resilience, creativity, and unstoppable spirit. But Ozzy's influence extended far beyond music. Through the hit MTV reality series The Osbournes, he introduced himself to a new generation, transforming his family into cultural icons. The show revealed a side of Ozzy the world had seldom seen: funny, down-to-earth, and surprisingly relatable, while showcasing the deep love and connection he shared with Sharon and their children. Together, the Osbournes became one of the most beloved and enduring families in global pop culture. Despite earning countless honors throughout his career, including induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Ozzy Osbourne will forever stand as one of the most iconic figures in music, in history. His legacy extends far beyond his songs and albums. It lives on in the countless artists he inspired and the generations he continues to influence. Every time his voice breaks through the speakers, every time his music fills the air, Ozzy reminds the world why he remains an immortal force in rock, a legend whose spirit, sound, and influence will echo through time for generations to come. For this final farewell, Ozzy needed Sharon's unwavering support. There was only one place that could give him the goodbye he truly deserved: Birmingham, the city where his story began and his life was forever changed. Birmingham wasn't just Ozzy's hometown, it was the very core of who he was. This industrial city, the birthplace of Black Sabbath, has long been celebrated as the beating heart of heavy metal, and no one embodied that spirit more than Ozzy, its most legendary son. For him, Birmingham wasn't merely the beginning. It was the foundation of everything, the place where his music, his identity, and the legend of Ozzy Osbourne first took flight and began to echo across the world. In the months leading up to July 2025, Birmingham underwent a remarkable transformation to honor Black Sabbath and their legendary frontman, Ozzy Osbourne. The city launched the Summer of Sabbath, a celebration dedicated to recognizing the band's monumental impact on music and global culture. What began as a civic tribute soon evolved into a heartfelt expression of gratitude from Birmingham to one of its most beloved sons. Throughout the city, art installations, concerts, and special events paid homage to Black Sabbath's enduring legacy, each reflecting the band's deep roots in the place that shaped them. Through this grand celebration, Birmingham bestowed its highest honor, forever weaving Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne into the very fabric of music history. Among the many honors, the four original members of Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward were awarded the Freedom of the City of Birmingham, a fitting tribute from the place that had shaped their story. To commemorate their extraordinary careers, the city renamed a bridge in their honor, creating a lasting monument to their influence. A commemorative bench was also unveiled, but the most striking tribute of all was a massive mural of Ozzy Osbourne, painted across the end of Villa Park Stadium. The venue, where football fans and heavy metal devotees had gathered for generations, was transformed into a landmark celebrating Birmingham's enduring bond with its most iconic band. That evening was more than a ceremony. It was Birmingham's heartfelt salute to its greatest musical sons, a celebration of a legacy forever etched into the city's soul and into the history of rock itself. This homecoming was more than just a concert. It was an emotional return to where it all began. Fans from around the world traveled to Birmingham to be part of the moment, turning the celebration into a once-in-a-lifetime experience. One fan from the United States put it perfectly: meeting Ozzy in his hometown was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Moments like that captured the very soul of the night. It wasn't just about the music, it was about the unbreakable bond between Ozzy and his fans, a connection forged through decades of shared passion, emotion, and history. For one unforgettable evening, the past, present, and future of Black Sabbath converged, creating a collective memory that will live on in the hearts of all who witnessed it. You could feel the history in the air. Those weren't just the words of one fan, they reflected the shared emotion of everyone who witnessed this extraordinary night. Even those who had followed Ozzy's journey from afar could sense the magnitude of the moment, an evening where the past and future came together in one unforgettable celebration. The global media quickly took notice. With a star-studded lineup of some of rock and metal's greatest names, a stadium packed with 40,000 passionate fans, and a worldwide audience of millions, the concert became more than just a performance. It became a global phenomenon. It stood as a living testament to the enduring legacy of Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and the timeless influence they continue to have on generations of artists and music lovers across the world. Even before Ozzy's final farewell, the tributes had already begun a testament to his extraordinary achievements and the profound mark he left on rock and metal. Ozzy's image had long transcended that of a performer. He had become a symbol, a guiding light for generations of musicians and fans alike. When the moment of farewell finally arrived, those who had shared the stage and the journey with him couldn't hold back their emotions. Messages of love and respect poured in not only from his closest friends, but also from some of the biggest names in music. Artists forever shaped by his sound, his spirit, and his fearless authenticity. It was clear that Ozzy's impact was beyond measure. His legacy will live on in his music, in the people he inspired, and in the eternal legend of the Prince of Darkness. Musicians, collaborators, and industry figures alike recognized the immense influence Ozzy Osbourne had built over his legendary career. His legacy spanned decades of groundbreaking music, and as his time on stage came to an end, a profound sense of loss swept through the world of rock. The realization that a true legend was stepping out of the spotlight struck deeply in the hearts of all who had been touched by his music. Ozzy was more than an extraordinary performer. He was an icon who redefined the sound and spirit of rock and metal forever. His impact was immeasurable, and his absence left behind a silence that no one else could ever fill. Ozzy Osbourne's legacy is nothing short of legendary. From his groundbreaking years as the frontman of Black Sabbath to his trailblazing solo career, Ozzy left an indelible mark on the world of rock and metal. His influence reached far beyond his music, shaping the very culture of rock through his fearless energy, magnetic presence, and unwavering authenticity. Ozzy's pioneering sound and creative vision didn't just define heavy metal. They inspired generations of artists to find their own voice and push the limits of what music could be. As Elton John once said, Ozzy was a great pioneer, securing his place among the pantheon of rock legends, a true icon whose legacy will echo for eternity. His bond with fans, his resilience through every storm, and his monumental impact on music make him one of the most influential figures in rock history. What does Ozzy's legacy mean to you? How has his music shaped your love for rock and metal? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories about the artists who changed the world of music forever. He was also one of the funniest people I've ever met. I will miss him dearly. With those words, Sir Rod Stewart perfectly captured the essence of Ozzy Osbourne beyond his legendary career. To those lucky enough to know him, Ozzy wasn't just a rock icon, he was warm, genuine, and endlessly funny, a man whose humor could light up any room. Rod, who shared decades of friendship and camaraderie with him, expressed his grief in a heartfelt message. "Farewell, Ozzy. Sleep well, my friend. See you on the other side." These weren't just words of tribute. They were the echoes of a deep friendship, bound by respect, laughter, and shared memories between two titans of music. It was a farewell filled with both sorrow and love as Rod said goodbye not only to a fellow legend, but to a true friend. The sense of loss that followed Ozzy Osbourne's farewell stretched far beyond his inner circle. Artists from every corner of the music world across genres and generations recognized the profound impact he had, not only on rock, but on the evolution of modern music itself. Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones was among those who paid tribute, calling Ozzy a true legend of Birmingham not just for his musical achievements, but for shaping the city's vibrant artistic identity. Wood praised Ozzy's rare gift for creating a sound that inspired generations, reminding the world that his influence reached far beyond the stage. This was more than a recognition of talent. It was a salute to the man who helped lay the foundation upon which countless artists still stand. Ozzy's legacy isn't confined to his songs. It lives on in the hearts of his fans, in the respect of his peers, and in the enduring inspiration he gave to the world of music. His spirit continues to echo through every note, every lyric, and every soul his music has ever touched. Metallica, one of the bands that performed at the Villa Park concert, honored Ozzy Osbourne with a gesture both simple and deeply moving. A single photo of the band with Ozzy, captioned only with a broken heart emoji, spoke louder than any words could. That quiet post resonated with millions across the world, capturing the shared sorrow and profound respect felt for a true legend. This was more than a tribute to a friend. It was an acknowledgement of Ozzy's towering influence on rock and metal. As titans of the genre themselves, Metallica's silent gesture reflected their deep understanding of how much Ozzy had shaped the sound and soul of heavy music. He didn't just transform a genre, he redefined it, leaving behind a legacy that will continue to inspire artists and fans for generations to come. Metallica's understated farewell served as a powerful reminder that in the world of rock and metal, Ozzy Osbourne's echo will never fade.